You are Locked On Astros Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Houston on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Okay, here we go. Can you hear me yet? In the test, when I come back into the stream, it says it's working. Is it working? Yes or no? Yes or no? Which one? Somebody please give me a yes. Oh, yeah. I don't know what that was. I went into the settings, and it would not do it. I believe. But yay, we're here. Thank you for joining me late night, West Coast, after the Astros. I'm not on the West Coast. You're not. It's out again? No, you got to be kidding me. All right. It's back again? What is this? Pick which way we're going to go here tonight. I just want to talk Astros baseball. I want to talk about them winning and being in first place in the American League West. This is unbelievable. All season long we suffered. I was the idiot that came on here and said, hey, yes, I can't type either. I forgot to type W when I typed Hunter Brown. What is the deal? The post All-Star break is just, it is what it is. Simple as that. Thank you for joining us tonight. The Astros won. This episode, by the way, of the Locked On Astros Postcast is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. The right state can make you a fan of any city, even your rivals. Check out Booking.com for your stay today. Astros back where they need to be. Back where they belong to be. You guys are right. The Astros couldn't handle the All-Star break at all. And it's back now, thank goodness. I didn't turn this computer on during the All-Star break in here in my room that I do this in. I stayed out of this room completely. But you know what? We're here. And we're talking about a team that just went out there tonight and took care of their business. Could you imagine being a Mariners fan tonight? They are horrible to watch. I know that they have a pitching staff that could absolutely dominate anybody, but it is, it is a team that they can't hit a baseball to save their lives. All you got to do is do what the Astros did tonight. Have one good inning against them, basically. And if your pitching staff does their job, which I feel like you and I could go out there and give the Astros an inning against that Mariners team sometimes. They can't hit. We'll see what they do at the trade deadline, if they do anything to change this baseball team. I don't think that they necessarily should go all that crazy, but I'm not running their team. It's just wild. I mean, Cal Raleigh's their best player, I guess, and he can't hit a lick. He can hit it over the fence, but he can't hit. None of them can. And it just kind of shows you that, if you're built around a bunch of guys that got swing and miss, you're not going to do anything. And that's why I understand the Astros calm inside of the clubhouse, inside of the organization when it came to the division this year, because you watch that Mariners team and they cannot sustain that. And they honestly, even if they go to the deadline and make some trades, but I mean, they have to get 4 bats minimum to even remotely fix that offense. Julio Rodriguez is a shell of himself. I know that he'd been, I think, a little bit better recently before the break, but he's not a good player this year overall, especially when you consider the money that they pay him. And then everybody else is just terrible. Absolutely. You really hate to see it. Where are those Mariners fans that came into all the videos early in the season and chirped here on this channel? I bet, I bet they're not watching post-game reaction shows. And they're probably not even at the game, but they're going to show up at the game tomorrow? They probably should. They probably will. It's a beautiful ballpark. Weather looks great there too. So I would show up and sit outdoors and enjoy that place. But I wouldn't watch that team. It's about the Astros. And you think about this climb back from where they were, it's impressive. I mean, this team was 10 games out of the division, 10 games out of the American League West. The morning of June 19, I'm just looking at the tweet from MLB. The morning from June 19, the Astros trailed the Mariners in the American League West by 10 games. Guys, it is July 19th. That's a month. They made up 10 games in a month. That's insane. And it's not like the Mariners were losing games constantly. I think they played around overall, I think, about 500 baseball. The Astros went torched earth on it. And it helped that the Mariners weren't great and they can't hit. But they went and they fixed a 10-game deficit in a month. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable to do this. And, you could go back and you could find certain points of the season, what changed here, what changed there. And there's still so much to go. They have, 65 games left in the regular season. I can remember doing this show. And look, I looked in this camera. I said, guys, it's not happening. They're not making the postseason this year. It's not happening. I was down in the dumps like a lot of you. I was mad. I yelled about Reggie Jackson. I yelled about Jeff Bagwell. I'll still yell about those guys. I still hold those takes. I'm never giving those up. Those guys don't belong around the team. But you know what? I was wrong about the baseball team on the field. They're figuring it out. They've played better baseball. And they've done this without a lot of guys contributing that they would necessarily hope to have out there consistently. I mean, Verlander's been down now. They've not had starting pitching health really all season long. They've had to think about that. They've gone to now Arrigetti's had some starts that are good, some starts that are bad. They've gone to their third round pick of the draft from a year ago already in the rotation. They've lost multiple pitchers already for the season. Luis Garcia has been slowed down. I don't know if Lance McCullers still lives and breathes. It's truly unbelievable that they've weathered all that storm, had a little bit of up and down from Fromber throughout the season as well. And here they are. And a lot of it is due to the pitching, the guys that you know about that are doing it, like the guy tonight that we'll give some love to here in just a second, that being Hunter Brown. Ronel Blanco's done it all season long, deserved to be an all-star. But I just, you try to find the spot where things started to flip the switch a little bit. They kind of all point out team-wise that trip to Mexico City. They went down to Mexico City, swept a couple of games against the Rockies. I'd like to pick that point, but then you go look at the schedule, and they ended up dropping after that series. They went and played Cleveland, which they took 2 of 3. But really from that second game against Cleveland until they finished with New York, I mean, they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They lost 5 of 7 after that, after winning 3 in a row. It's like I can't really pick that spot. Is it the Detroit series where they went and took 2 out of 3 in Detroit and played pretty well in 2 of those 3 games, and then went to Oakland and swept the A's, a team that's not good doing their thing, then came back home and beat Milwaukee, a good team, 2 out of 3? I think that's probably the area that it really started to happen. And to do all this as well, yeah, I was only mentioning the pitching there. But doing this without Kyle Tucker as well, who, by the way, still hasn't even started running. Like, what is this? He fouled the ball off his leg. Like, did they just not tell us that he broke his leg or something? Because I'm curious. He's still not running. It's been over a month. And yes, to the question that's come in on the comments live here on the Locked On Astros Postcast to Danny Mack. Is there anything is there anything better in the world than seeing Scott Service with a disappointed look every time they lose? No, there really isn't. Scott Service is the worst. Former Astro, too. But you love to see it for Scotty boy. Scotty. Tough scene, man. Tough scene for you. Tough scene for the Mariners fans. But not a tough scene for the Astros when they go out there and play in Seattle. And when they hand the ball, not to Hunter. I can't even point. Not to Hunter Brown. But I guess for the purposes of this show, because I did that graphic right before we started, he's Hunter Braun tonight. Hunter Braun. Period. End of story. We'll continue the Locked On Astros postcast here in a brief moment after these quick messages. This episode of the Locked On Astros postcast is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. Travel season's heating up. Summertime. Now, look, you could have been like all of us with the glitch this morning. Maybe you were going to Seattle and you didn't get there because the glitch in the computer world, which I thought maybe had something to do with this computer not starting at the show, and you got stuck not being able to travel this morning. But don't worry. Booking.com is going to get you the absolute best travel for you to get on the road and go see your Astros. Maybe get to Seattle tomorrow. Watch 2 out of 3 this weekend, or head over to Oakland. Watch them play Oakland after this. It's going to make you a fan of any city, even your rivals. Period. End of story. I've used it before in the past to go travel and watch the Astros, cover them in the past when I was in radio. It is a great website to do that. The right stay can make you a fan of any U.S. city, even your rivals. Book today on Booking.com, on the site, or in the Booking.com app. And one more message before we get back to the Astros discussion. Let's talk about PrizePicks. You need to make everything fun when it comes to watching sports, and you do that today with the PrizePicks app. It's America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. You can win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000. $100,000. PrizePicks, available in more than 30 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on PrizePicks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Locked On Astros Postcast continuing late night on a Friday night. They finished it before midnight tonight too. You got to love that. I mean, look, I'm a fan. I'm not going to lie to you. Middle innings there, I was sitting on the couch and yawning a little bit, and I'm like, man, I didn't do anything today. I mean, I went to the gym, and I watched the Open Championship, which should be firing up, 3-4 hours from now. I'm not waking up for that. I'll wait until the morning. It's not that great of a tournament this time around. That's all I did today. I'm just sitting here like, man, this is late. I thought in going in, again, me, not checking the schedule, I thought it was an 8:40 first pitch tonight because these teams, a lot of them move it to 6:40 locally. And I was like, oh, it's 8:40. No, it's 9:07 or 9:10 or whatever the heck it is over there. It's the 8:40 tomorrow night. We'll get into tomorrow night's game. George Kirby versus Framber Valdez in just a moment. Thank you for joining us again late night. If you're new to the channel tonight, thanks for stopping by. Please hit the subscribe button. We continue to try to grow this channel. I greatly appreciate it if you did that because then you could come back and listen to us talk Astros baseball. I appreciate you guys coming in all the time. And, good as that. Thank you to Gregory, real quick, pointing something out here on the live portion of this. Again, if you're listening to this later, sorry that, you're listening to it later. Astros record since Jose Abreu was sent home, 19-9. Love to see that. Who would have known that you get rid of some dead weight on the baseball team? And, Jose Abreu, that'll happen. Credit to, by the way, before I give all the Hunter Brown love, credit to two guys tonight. And maybe the rest helped. One, as some of you have pointed out, the punching bag for me this season because I've not felt comfortable with him at one point at all this season. His stuff has just not played the way that it did last year, and he constantly gets guys on base. Bryan Abreu. Awesome inning for Bryan Abreu tonight. Stuff looked great. Awesome inning for Ryan Presley tonight. And after falling behind with a pitch clock violation to start it, Josh Hader looked excellent again. Those three guys, if they can do that consistently, as we talked about so much before the season with this Astros team, guess what they are going to do? They're going to win. When you can get 6 outs from three of the best arms in the game in the back end of a bullpen period, performing at the highest of levels that they're capable of performing at, you will win 95% plus of the time. And that was what happened tonight. And again, it helps big time that Mariners offense is just yikes. That's a first place team playing the biggest series of the season. I know that it's July the 19th, but it's the biggest series of the season right now. And they're out there getting booed in their home ballpark. And for good reason. Booed. And you have to tip your cap like we do when the Astros get beat. They're going to have to go over there and do what I will come on here and do. Like sometimes you tip your cap. The pitcher on the other side went out there and did their thing. The Astros pitching tonight did their thing. And I wanted to give the bullpen some love. And I want to give Hunter Brown some love as well, as we've done a lot. He has flipped the script more than probably anybody on their season in the entire sport of baseball. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how, and I listened to the pregame interview with Joe Espada tonight on the TV on the broadcast. I don't know if you guys watched it or not. But he talked about Hunter Brown was, you could be told things in given pointers or whatnot, but the player has to be willing and open to go and do it. And it takes a lot to be in that spot to go and do that in the middle of the season. And they did that with him. And the results have been incredible. That's 11? Is it 11 starts in a row now that have gone at least 6 innings? And it's another quality start. I think 10 of those 11 were quality starts. He's been unbelievable. He's got swing and miss stuff. He gets big outs when he needs to. He gets a little bit of traffic on base pass. He finds his way through it like a veteran would. And he's not a veteran per se yet, but he's not a rookie anymore. He's got how many big league starts under his belt now at this point of his career? It's his 50th career start tonight. And I'm telling you, they started a postseason series tomorrow. He's going no worse than game 2. Renel Blanco probably goes 1, he goes 2. Fromber goes 3. I mean, seriously, you go back now. It is. You go back. The last time he failed to go 6 innings was May 17th against the Milwaukee Brewers. He went 5 that night and gave up 4. He's gone 5 innings in every start since May the 11th. But really, I mean, it started against the Angels. It started against the Angels for him where he has completely flipped his season around. And it's a big reason why the Astros are back where they are. And yes, again, for the purposes of this show, if you're watching this, and if you're listening to this on our graphics tonight, I forgot to type a W for Hunter Brown on the thing there. Pitching really isn't, it really isn't a problem for the Astros overall. Could they afford to use more depth? Yeah. But it's not holding them back by any means. They've kept winning baseball games at a high clip with the pitching staff that they have. Hunter Brown, a huge, massive story in that, as he's learned to basically use a sinker, blow guys up on the inside. His curveball's big and gets a lot of swing and miss as well. And I think tonight, I mean, you go back, he's always pitched well there in Seattle. I think it's his 3rd career start there. He might be 3-0, an ERA sub-2. He's been different in all the starts too. Now, he was heavy breaking ball the first couple of times against that team. And tonight he was a lot of fastball. And fastball looked good. I mean, really, if it wasn't for that first inning where he went out there and, really it was the Josh Rojas at bat where it's a 12-pitch battle, which credit to Rojas there. If he doesn't have a, long inning there, he's getting 7 tonight because he settled in and did his thing. And he outdueled Luis Castillo, a guy that, coming into this year, you look at and go, no Astros pitcher's better than that guy. Did it. Astros bats did it to him. And the Astros pitcher that was on the mound opposite of him outperformed him tonight. And that's why, again, the Astros are sitting at the top of the AL West tonight by percentage points, and the Mariners are now back where they belong. That's right, Seattle. I said it. You're back where you belong. Let's talk about tomorrow's game. You can really get ahead in the American League West with a win tomorrow. We'll preview that next here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Get supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades, SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door and fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business and talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trade Master program. Every Trade Master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at SupplyHouse.com/TM and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at SupplyHouse.com. And before we get back to our Astros discussion, almost at midnight as we're doing this live here to the Locked On Astros Postcast, I need to tell you guys about FanDuel. I love sports. You love sports. Sure, there's not as many of them going on right now necessarily. You do have baseball. We're going to have football back here soon, preseason football. But right now, it's just not sporting necessarily the way that you always want it to sport. Maybe you got some golf this weekend. Tennis is winding down as well. The Olympics are coming up. Okay. FanDuel.com has you covered. And this summer, FanDuel.com is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day all summer long. So head over to FanDuel.com and start making the most of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Locked On Astros Postcast here tonight after the Astros win, back in first place. Thank you for joining us live. If you're watching this later, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this later, I also hope you didn't click the video and then went away because the first 4 minutes were dead silence. Thanks to, I'm guessing it was the glitch from today that everybody's, because I tried to use, we had a Locked On call today and I couldn't get on Teams on my computer. Wouldn't work. I had to use my phone for it. It worked on my phone. So, whatever. We're here. Glad you guys are here. Hit the subscribe button. Come back. Join us tomorrow. We'll do it again late night, maybe even a little bit earlier tomorrow night. 8:40 first pitch. If they want to finish this one a little bit earlier tomorrow night or finish, around the same time, which I think against that Mariners team, who, by the way, he only had 4 hits on the game, and they stink defensively too. I know that they've got J.P. Crawford out there. He was only his third error of the season. He made an error. The gaff out in right field by Victor Robles, who if anybody remembered Victor Robles when he was with the Washington Nationals, he was a terrible outfielder there too. That World Series, he was just he's not very good. Rojas made an error as well, and then or did they change? Yeah, I think they changed Polanco was credited with an error on the Jordan ball, but I think they changed that to a hit. But the Mariners games can go by super quick. That game, 2 hours, 17 minutes tonight. Almost 41,000 in attendance there at T-Mobile Park tonight. Good for them that they got to see a loss, right? Happy for them. Thrilled for them. Thrilled for them that they got to watch Hunter Brown dominate. He moves to 8-6 on the season. ERA, by the way, back down to 4.14. Josh Hader at the end picks up save number 19 of the season as he is, maybe he's getting past his little home run snap that he had there at the end of towards the back half of the first half of the season. Tomorrow's game, important, of course. You want to stay ahead of the Mariners, right? You could take a full game lead in the American League West as the Astros stand today, which again, I'm not going to pretend to know it all. The Astros are percentage points ahead of the Mariners. I guess it's just a winning percentage right now because the Astros have played less games than Seattle. So technically the Astros are first place. That would, as soon as it levels out, if these two teams were still tied, the head-to-head would give it to Seattle, but it is what it is. Tomorrow, Framber Valdez. Which guy are you going to see? It's a good ballpark for him to pitch in. I'm going to go ahead and imagine that you're going to see good Framber because he's coming off of rest. I think he's facing a team that can't hit, like we've talked about. George Kirby, by the way, going to go for Seattle in that one. Look, the Seattle pitching is going to keep you in check. We know that. You're not going to go out there and bust out for a bunch of unbelievable, big games, big innings against this pitching staff. It's just not going to happen. It is what it is. Framber, by the way, this season faced Seattle at home. Actually wasn't very good in that one. 5 1/3, 5 runs on the 4th of May. And that's the only time that he has faced them this season. For George Kirby, he said easily. He's having a nice season. 3.29 ERA on the season. Does have 7 losses. Also has 7 wins on the year. But the only time that he has faced the Astros was on May the 3rd. 6 innings, 1 run in that one. He actually faced them twice, I should say. 6 innings, 1 run in each of them. So, track record, Astros on paper going to have a tough day tomorrow offensively. But if they can get just to scratch across a few runs and Framber doesn't implode out there, the Astros will have themselves a full-on lead there. And on top of that tonight, the Rangers lost too in the American League West. I think the Orioles ended up crushing them pretty good. 9-1 was the final in that one. Evaldi got lit up. Corbin Burns was awesome. And it's weird for Corbin Burns. His last 2 starts have come in that ballpark there in Arlington because he started the All-Star game for the American League a few nights ago, which I did not watch. I don't know if you guys did or not. I did not watch a single second of Home Run Derby, Futures game, All-Star game. First time in years. I didn't turn it on. I enjoyed my break from baseball. I thought it was great. But I'm way excited to have the Astros back, of course, way excited to be back with you guys after every game talking Stros as they look like they're doing their thing once again. And now the race is on to the trade deadline, which we will keep an eye on and see if they can, add to this team. And then on top of that, keep winning baseball games to make this thing fun down the stretch and win the American League West again this year, where they should be, where we all expected them to be. It's nice to be back there right now. Thank you again for joining us tonight. Don't forget tomorrow night after the game to join us live. I am very hopeful. I will make sure we do a few tests before we do this tomorrow to make sure whatever that little technical issue, because I'm telling you, I go into the settings. We use the service. I don't know if anybody is familiar with it, the service StreamYard to do these shows, and it wouldn't let me turn the microphone on. I had to get out of the stream and then go back on to turn it back on. So, again, we'll try it out tomorrow night. Thanks for bearing with me through that. Go and find this show on podcast anywhere that you get your podcast. And, of course, join us after the game tomorrow night. Also, don't forget, football season is coming up. We will be doing these shows. I was just looking at the schedule for August. We will be doing these shows during baseball season for the Texans preseason. They're going to have 4 preseason games. We'll have some Cougs stuff as well when it comes to the Cougs football this fall. Hopefully a good season for them with Willie Fritz. This channel is all about Houston sports. Then the Rockets. Loving what I'm seeing out of Reed Shepherd in the Summer League. I'm enjoying that big time. So we'll have you all covered for that. You guys enjoy your sleep now. And we'll do this again tomorrow night, late West Coast, after the Astros and Mariners right here on the Locked On Astros Postcast.